Hello traders, so welcome to the weekly altcoin setups volume 179. In this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what kind of opportunities we had, and most importantly what we can expect for the upcoming week. Iliya here, really happy to see you tune in into the Trading Fanatic channel. This week was nice depending on which pairs you chose to trade and which pairs are included in your trading plan. For me, trading only EURUSD and US30, I had 3 losses, which I'm gonna show you on EURUSD. US30 did not provide much according to my rules. And this week we had the best movers, which were, for example, GBPUSD made a very nice leg up. Aussie dollar, NZDUSD as well moved very nicely. Gold provided some good opportunities. The JPYs were a little bit manipulative. We had some huge spikes up and down. That could have made it hard for you to take some trades. But let me know down in the comments how you performed this week. Really curious to hear. And I'm really looking forward to put a stop of this losing streak that is attacking me since the start of the year. But again, 5 losses. They're just going to be gone in 1 win and then we start crushing it. All right. If you're new to this channel, it's all about trading. I share these weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and I have a lot of educational content incoming. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell in order not to miss when those come out. And without further ado, let's see what do we have for this week. Alright, as always, we're gonna get started with a Dixie, the basket of currencies. I think it consists only of 6, right? We have the euro, the pound, CAD, Swiss franc, and the Swedish krona, and another one, I think JPY maybe. But I always like starting with it because it kind of builds an overall picture of how strong, how weak the dollar is. And of course, the majority of us are gonna be trading potentially at least one USD pair. So it's always good to start by building a bias on the DXY. In terms of news this week, we have a couple of interesting things that are about to happen. So Monday is going to be quiet. We have this monetary policy meeting from the JPY and then this consumer confidence from the Eurozone. Tuesday looks pretty good, right? So PMI for the Eurozone, for Germany, France. Then we have for the US as well, very important for the GBP, CPI for the NZD. So make sure to watch out for that as well. Wednesday, we also have a couple of news, especially interest rate for CAD. Very, very, very important, right? Thursday, GDP, right? You can see everything is US news on Thursday, and then Friday we close with nothing as much. So we don't have like something very, 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 very huge, right? Except from the CPI, CPI NZD right there, Canadian interest rate, right? And some other news like this one, PMI right there. So that's pretty good because it's always good to have not so volatile news, but still to have some news to boost some momentum into the market. I did expect this to happen this week, but in fact, if you have a look at the weekly candle on the Dixie, right, it's an overall indecision doji, right? So again, what we can go ahead and do is try to find, okay, why is the market rejecting from here? Then of course we can drop a little bit of a demand zone on the left. Again, I always preach, don't do that because you're just trying to be catching like the bottom. But of course you can do this in order to potentially forecast that the market could stop for a little bit right there, give you a reaction, and then continue in the overall direction, right? So weekly time frame is bearish, dropping onto the daily. You can see the price action we traded into this week. Right, so Monday starting, a little bit of bullishness, inside bar, huge spikes up and down, and then 2 inside bars, right? So pretty much right now, this is the high, this is the low, and yeah, that's the daily. The daily is bearish, but again, you can see we're having a week of indecision, so nothing too much to extract apart from that, right? Which immediately brings us to the 4-hourly time frame. Why did my lines disappear? Which is interesting, right? What is happening right here is that if you just draw like a very simple box, right, you can see wick up, wick down, return back in the range. This is a very usual consolidation, but it's not one of those good consolidations that provides you opportunities, but it's one of those choppy ones that tends to liquidate up, liquidate down, and then return back and start chopping inside, right? So this one is cooking for something. Is it cooking for it to start reversing higher, right? Or is it cooking to continue going lower? We never know. Right? Everything is bearish so far, weekly, daily, 4-hourly time frame, everything is bearish, right? And if I just stick to my analysis, right? We have a breakout structure down there. What caused the breakout structure? It's this supply, right? And then you can see the market came in, reacted, came in again, reacted, and came in again for a nice liquidity gap. You can see how we stacked these 2 highs. But neither this high nor this high right there tried to push lower and break the low. So what they do become, they become liquidity. the market takes them out. And right now it looks like, again, it tries to push down. Okay, so overall, my bias is bearish. And when I look at market structure, just very simply, but I'm just always aware that if I just zoom out a little bit and really look at what is happening, right, we're having this overall range. The market is just stuck. Like if I just plot a line like this in the middle, you can see that the market is overall bouncing up and down around this line, right? So there is no clean momentum, there is no clean intention, right? If you just jump on the 50-minute time frame, it was really choppy, especially these 2 days, right? There just goes up, goes down, then goes up, right? Then immediately goes down. And there were some good moves, don't get me wrong, but they were really hard to catch, like especially on Euro USD. Sometimes this one just starts trending, like if you have a look at Wednesday, massive move up and then just massively expanded down. Like how do you get involved in this move if you're not like a breakout trader trading like support and resistance on the 1 minute? So pretty hard to get in my opinion. But again, going back to the overall analysis, I am bearish right now. I would expect this one potentially, if it wants to behave logically, right, it potentially should be attacking the low right there. But again, I don't exclude the chance of it just continuing to range and maybe even reversing. Who knows? We have some interesting news for next week, so make sure to be monitoring very closely. But yes, this is how I look at the DXY right now. It's overall bearish, but once again, we're stuck in this range. So let's see. Keeping in mind an overall bearish bias on the DXY, right? Let's see how the other pairs are actually performing and if they align with this bearish bias on the DXY. Let's have a look at Euro USD, which is pretty much the opposite of the DXY. We are also having an indecision candle right there in the weekly time frame, and currently it's going to be pretty hard to determine what happens next because we are kind of sitting in a weekly, daily high, right? There is something on the left potentially to cause it like supply or resistance. So again, let's not try to forecast too much and predict. Let's just try to react, right? Dropping onto the daily time frame. So what we have right now is pretty much like you can see since Friday, where we've been having like around 7 days of consolidation. And we really kind of failed to cause any real high or any real low, right? Similarly to the DXY right now, we're having two inside bars and they look like they want to attack the high, right? So that's going to be pretty important to see this week. Are we just going to attack the high and then continue going higher or maybe even reverse? Or are we going to start pulling back lower, right? Because if you have a look on the daily time frame, well, pretty much, for example, this is our daily higher low formation, then we can draw something like this as a range and expect to pull back. But currently we're kind of at the top, potentially like distributing or accumulating. It depends, right? So if you really zoom in, again, what we have is a big range, right? So if you just look at it, right, we're just at the top right now, consolidating, right? The market goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. But again, as we explored on Tuesday, right, there is a breakdown right there. And then there is, according to me, a 4-hourly reversal right here, which caused this 4-hourly demand zone. And as you can see throughout the week, this was actually holding, right? We came in, reacted, came in again, reacted, and we gave a little bit of a pullback right there. That looks like an internal higher low. And then on Friday, we actually made an overall kind of a nice push to the upside, but still we are in this range, right? So my biggest question goes right now, are we going to attack the high, make a new high, again, simply being in this range, right? Or are we going to complete chopping around, maybe pulling back down again? Again, I don't know, right? I don't know. And it's pretty hard to be trading in this kind of market because, again, it's a low probability market. The market is not trending on the 4-hourly time frame to give you nice trending opportunities, right? Potential on the 15-minute to catch continuations, but it's just ranging, right? And me trading on the 15-minute, I usually get caught like at the wrong place simply because like the trades are taken inside like this consolidation. When there is a consolidation, then the little tip that I can give you is to always try like to trade from the lows and to trade from the highs, right? Try to short here and try to long there. Don't try to do anything within the middle. So this is pretty much the 4-hourly time frame, right? We can be expecting that this one could break, right? If it doesn't break, then we return back, and pretty much I'm going to be bullish on the FOH just because, again, we have a bearish bias on DXY, we have a bullish bias on EU. So any long opportunity is a potential high probability trade, right? And I took 2 longs this week, but unfortunately both of them were losses. So again, jumping like on the 15-minute time frame, you see right there, very choppy here, for example. on Thursday, the market just went down and then massively expanded up without allowing for any trades. And then it just started chopping all day, right? Breakdown, then breaks up, then breaks down, taps right there, and then it reverses. So yeah, this trade could have been taken, but again, it's not according to my plan. Here on Friday, it provided a couple of nice shorts, so it kind of made a nice 5 waves pattern right there. But again, unfortunately, no entry here. My entry got missed by 2 pips, I think, for this short, so that was pretty bad. And I think we took a long from here, so I'm gonna explore that. But again, I'm not here to break down what happened this week. This is my outlook right now. We are bullish on EU. They're reacting from this demand zone. So again, are we traveling towards the high right there, or are we going to return back? So again, staying tuned for Monday to have a look how it develops. Then we have a live stream on Tuesday and then see how we can take it from there. And just to again very quickly share my performance, I always do. I only traded on Monday and Friday, which is rather strange, right? So you can see the first day and then the last day, 2 longs. And yeah, if you just actually have a look at it, again, for me, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were absolutely not tradable. Like you can see, like on Tuesday, EURUSD was the worst pair of all. Like, for example, the other pairs reacted much better, like GU, NU, AU, UCAD as well. There were some setups that I called on the Tuesday stream that played out to perfection, right? So pretty much the only trade that I could identify was on Monday and Friday. So there is the first one, right? That was the fresh 4-hourly break right there caused by this 50-minute range. The market pulled back. It gave the setups, right? I took 2 losses from here. The first loss was here, right? So we aligned on the 1 minute, we pulled back, gave a little reaction stop loss, and then I just zoomed in, right? So okay, can it give us a re-entry? Broke down, broke back up with this candle, and then just on the retest, just when the next candle opened, I took it and it was an immediate stop loss. So we took this together with the team, and yeah, then it just started rolling down. So that was pretty much Monday. And then on Friday, there was a little short right there to be taken. I think it was outside my trading hours because I don't trade from 12 until 1, right? That's pretty much the dead hour. And yeah, then we had this move down, but then it still failed to take out the low, and then we did all of this stuff. So it would have been potentially a break-even trade. And then going all the way to Friday, right? So Friday, again, knowing that we responded from this 4-hourly zone and we were pushing up, I thought, okay, we can have a trending day up, right? But what the market did is, again, usually what happens in manipulative consolidative market, we have the Asian range, manipulates down, manipulates up, manipulates down, and then it goes all the way up, right? So you have kind of a range, up, down, right? So this is not good because this is a range and usually you have to be trading. So the profitable trades that were taken in my community this week were usually counter trend trades, right? Reversals. Like I had some guys taking, like, for example, this short, just basing it on liquidity, taking out the high. There was a short right there, right? Trades like this. The trend continuation trades on EU this week did not work great for me. So there is that trade right there. We created a 50-minute alignment bullish. This is a valid range right there. A valid demand zone was created. So we pull back inside. I started looking for longs. Then here I was looking for the shorts, right? So let's jump on the 1 minute. Right, and there is my third trade for the week. All right, so we push up, we pull back, we tap inside the demand zone. We aligned bullish on the 1 minute, took it from here, right, gave a reaction and then a stop loss. And then I didn't take a re-entry right here because it just came so close to breaking the 50-minute zone. It did not break it. It created equals, which is even worse, right? So it becomes liquidity. And I suspected that it's going to take it out. So I saved myself from another... Yeah, potentially another trade could have been taken from here, stop loss below, and yeah, it's definitely another break even or a loss even, right? So that was my third trade, and the market aligned bearish and came in right there, grabbed the liquidity, created the alignment right here, and I had right there a 5 pip. Right, so I was looking for 5 pips, something like this, yeah, and it missed right there. It missed actually 1 pip, so it could have been a little bit more like that, but again 6.5, slightly bit bigger for me, and then it just started rolling, right? So that could have been a nice trade, but again there were some setups, they were misses or they were not perfect this week. So again, that's it. We just made sure to follow the plan. And in situations like this, like I had a couple of members in the community that are like, okay, shall we start trading different pairs? Shall we change a couple of things? Like in situations like this, can we trade this? Can we trade that? No, you just stay to the thing you're doing, right? Because by the time you start doing your other thing, then your USD is going to start working up, then GU is going to start chopping up, and then the same loop is going to repeat, right? So keep at it, right? Don't change stuff just because you're having a losing week doesn't mean anything, right? So keep at it. Let's see how we go forward. But pretty much that's my performance this week on EU. Let's jump on Euro JPY. Euro yen, let's have a look starting on the weekly time frame. Again, this one is rather tricky right now when it comes to its weekly range, right? We have a breakout structure here and currently we're reacting pretty much about to be breaking, but we're still reacting from this major weekly higher low formation, right? So we came in, reacted, came in again, reacted, right now came in again and we're reacting again. So what is gonna happen? Okay, we're having an overall bullish week, right? But as I start dropping the time frames down, you're gonna see that it was not entirely great, right? So still we are actually bearish on the daily. If you remember, this was our lower high formation, and potentially then we said that we are potentially traveling towards this low, but the market came in and stopped, threw a big wick up, chop day, and right now we're just filling in the wick. So again, you can see even this one, if I start dropping even to the 40 time frame, yeah. So is this tradable? Not much in my opinion, right? So we came in right there, started responding in a very corrective manner. So then I told you, well, any short you can take is good, but then you can see the market gives you a big short right there. So maybe you start thinking, all right, we are going short. So hopefully there are not people that are trading like this. Maybe they are on the 40 time frame with 140 pip stop loss, right? But then we had a massive expansion higher, right? A massive expansion higher. Then we have a massive expansion lower, right? That kind of actually took out this low. Right, so we can even say that this could be a 4-hourly break, but let's not forget that we're still trading within this range, right? So this is the high and this is the low. So anything that is breaking up and down within this range is just internal, right? And yeah, right now we're just pulling back, and then what you can do is you can take this as a supply because it still caused some sort of a breakout structure, and then expect some sales from here. So according to me, the JPYs right now are not going to be good because I actually had a look at UJ. It's not great, which is impacting immediately the JPYs. We have this monetary policy meeting on Monday early on, so hopefully this brings in some sentiment. But according to me right now, the JPYs are not very easy to trade, right? You had a break, you have a massive up, massive down, massive up right now. So it's starting to also build for something. So again, watch out, don't be too aggressive. Like again, intraday on the 50-minute, you can be catching some trend continuations with the most recent momentum, but always make sure to pair it with the overall market bias, which I usually take from a 4-hourly time frame. Okay, so that's EJ. I'm not gonna complicate it much more. There is nothing that I'm looking at. Potentially, again, I am short biased just because we're still trading within this range. We're bearish on the daily, right? But we're bullish on the weekly, responding for quite some time from this little demand zone. We almost came and broke it, and then since then we caused a massive reaction. So again, hard to read. Let's see. I do believe if you're trading these one, focus on quick intraday setups on the 50-minute time frame. So let's see how it goes this week. Hopefully it starts moving nicely. All right, let's have a look at the Aussies. So Aussie dollar this week was actually pretty good. It was one of the pairs that created a very nice 4-hourly move, right? So let's keep in mind that again, we're still staying within this supply zone right there. Again, is this valid? Is it not? It depends on your rules, but we have taken this little point this week as a very nice structural liquidity. So we can start expecting maybe for it to react if this zone is strong. But as I always tell you, this is why I do not look on the left too much on the weekly time frame, because it comes in, reacts, and then it continues to break with the overall current market sentiment that you can again easily spot on the 4-hourly, maybe even on the daily, right? So we came in. And if I zoom in on the daily time frame, so we started again Monday right there, we took it out, reacted, and we made this high, and then it looks like we're reversing. So just looking at the daily, there is potentially a 4-hourly alignment to bearish. Slightly bit hard to determine, like, is this the daily higher low? It looks like it because this is the last slowdown before we broke. But then we had another pullback, we took it out with a wick, and it goes down. So right now we're going to be having a confusion between the daily, which is looking bullish, and the 4-hourly that is going to be bearish, right? So I had a tip from someone that was very good to check out some channels on Wyckoff and on these sort of things. I'm definitely going to do so because I sometimes see it, and just because I've looked at it in the past, and yeah, this for example looks probably like it, right? I'm not sure, but then usually this one, like the last phase that it throws up and then massively reverses down, right? But again, in terms of structure, like this to me here aligns bearish right now. what caused the alignment? This one right there. You can always use like a bigger time frame, like you can see, for example, on the 8 hourly, the candle is going to be bigger. I'm soon going to teach you how to do that. But in terms of this week's performance, we had this demand zone, this break of structure, higher low formation was formed, and we ran for a new high. And if you remember, I think if you go check out on Tuesday, where's Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday was actually still shorts. By the time I was doing the analysis, yeah, there was a short running from here, right? So I think probably I have called this short. It went very nicely down. And then as you can see, we aligned bullish right there. But by the time we aligned bullish, the market then started chopping around. And yeah, then on the next day, good luck catching like a trade right there. So let me know if you took some trades on the Aussies. We had a nice TP on Friday with my team. On this one. So this is how I look at it, right? We aligned bearish right now after coming in like 1, 2, 3, 4 highs, right? Taking all the liquidity that is available within this zone right here. So let's see. We're already, I guess, around 50%. Yes, we just kissed 50%. So again, we can either start aligning bearish from here, or we can push into this zone and then start aligning bearish to take some shorts. So I'm looking for shorts, right? I think we do have some confidences to be looking for shorts. Let's see how it plays out. And once again, don't marry your bias, just stick to what the market shows you. And then again, just going on to a JPY pair, yeah, you can see starting with a chop, massive move up, massive move down, and currently pulling back, right? So definitely a very huge kind of liquidity play. Weekly time frame, very hard, right? I'm really having a hard time on this one. It is bearish, right? Since here we shifted bearish, then we can take, like, for example, this weekly supply that we're currently responding from. Then if you drop on the daily time frame, you can see we came in, responded, came in, grabbed liquidity, responded. Then this high still failed to cause a break of the low, right? And then it got taken again, right? So is this the last one? Well, we don't know, right? But then in terms of the 4-hourly time frame, this is tough, right? In terms of the 4-hourly time frame, if you're like really precise, this is still the zone, because again, guys, this is the last push that is valid push. Like everything inside this push is internal structure. So the market tapped in, tried to push, failed, took this as liquidity, right? So came in again very deep, tried to push down, failed, then took this, right? And right now it again tries to push down. So is this the final liquidity grab into this very tiny zone right there? Well, hopefully, so we can start shorting. But again, if you just look at the internal structure then, oops, what did I do? This aligned bearish right here. So this is bearish on the 4-hourly time frame. Then we can draw our supply zone that actually caused this, right? And we can start looking for shorts. So very similar setup to the Aussie, although the Aussie in terms of like its market structure, the major market structure, it looks much better. So this one we're still within this range, so we can be expecting this one to break, right? But what we see happening right now is an overall consolidation, right? So let's see. But again, in terms of recent market structure, I am bearish. Again, we can either start aligning bearish from here on the 15-minute, or we can push into this zone and then start aligning bearish and look for shorts. So I am calling shorts next week on the Aussies. Let's see, of course, how it plays out. Stay open to all outcomes and see you on Tuesday for the update. You can see NZDUSD, a nice weekly candle right there compared to the others, which are like an overall indecision. Here we have a very nice push that actually attacked the most recent weekly high. So currently we're actually having a weekly higher low formation, which is great. Okay, dropping onto the daily. So daily, yeah, you can see since here, like since last week Monday it was chop. This week Monday was chop as well, and then Tuesday and Wednesday expanded higher. Thursday gave us a pullback, and then Friday is already going up and trying to take out the new high. Okay, so definitely daily is bullish, and 4-hourly is also probably bullish. Although, yeah, you can see if I just delete this zone, this was kind of the price action we were trading into, right? So not very nice, not very clean. So where was actually Monday? Yeah, there is Monday. And what we had was tricky, but then if we just look very closely into it, there was a breakup right here. And then this was pretty much your demand zone. And then we came in right here, we reacted, and then we actually went on and made a new high. And then if we ask the question, what is the higher low that caused the high? Well, you can either take this, right? Or you can actually just take this low right there, because this is actually the lowest pullback before we pushed higher. So we're actually still bullish, I would say, on the 4H. And then if you drop on the 50-minute time frame, then for example here, around US session on Thursday, you could be looking for a long trade, right? Precisely from right there. So you can see again, it really depends on the pair you're trading. Like for example, Euro USD provided nothing, but NZDUSD, I think even on Tuesday there was some sort of a setup. No, probably not, because we took out the high, then we took out the low, and then we started shifting up, potentially longs from here. So not much, but again, you could be running right now in this long. So what my forecast is, well, of course, I am still bullish. Again, based on what we just analyzed, logically, it would make sense to start traveling towards the new high. And as long as we are trading within this range, then I'm going to be bullish. So maybe the 50-minute is going to decide right now to shift bearish, come all the way down. Then from here, if we align bullish again, then I'm going to be looking for longs. Okay, so the current positioning of price is not great for setups, because as I always say, you want to buy at the lows and then or sell at the highs, right? You don't want to be buying and selling too much in the middle, which I did this week, because usually if you get a setup here, like say you get a continuation setup right there like this, and then the market goes down to grab some liquidity, right? And then it aligns and then it starts moving up. Okay, it usually does this kind of a protraction in order to catch some more liquidity, right? Grab a little bit more and then continue with the overall trend. So let's see. I'm bullish on NZDUSD as I'm bullish on Aussie dollar. So again, any pullback to the downside will be a good longing opportunity. But again, we gotta make sure to see how it opens and what kind of opportunities are presented. So we're gonna check this on Tuesday. Exactly the same price action on NJ as AJ. Wick up, wick down, pullback right now into this overall kind of a supply zone, which is probably minor. So we gotta double check. Yeah, weekly time frame on this one is tricky. Again, are we bearish? Are we bullish? Is this the break? Right there, is this the weekly break, or are we looking for this one to break? Then we can take this one as a weekly supply. If we count this as the break, yeah, it's not an inside bar. It's a nice bearish candle, then right now followed by a bullish candle, not really engulfing as well, so kind of sketchy. Daily time frame is though bearish. So on the daily, if you remember, we have this zone, and the market again came into this zone to grab this liquidity, reacted, and right now it's pulling back to potentially start considering going lower. Again, this is the low that we have to be targeting. But again, like you see, NZDUSD is bullish, this one is bearish, so that's not good usually. So pretty tough to be catching trades on NJ, on all the JPYs, I think, this week. But again, what my outlook on this one is, well, I just want to see how it's going to respond from this zone, but I don't trust it as much, because we came into this zone quite a couple of times, and all the times the market gave a response, right? So I don't think there is going to be much left right there. And I also suspect that maybe we're going to be breaking above this zone. This is just solely based on speculation that we came in quite a couple of times. Like even if you just go back to AJ, for example, this one came in 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and all times it pushed down, right? So how much volume is left inside this zone right there, right? A lot of sellers have to be coming in from this zone in order to push the market down. And if there are not enough sellers coming in right there, then we're going to be breaking above and then traveling towards this higher zone right here. So again, watch out for this one. Don't try too hard to short, because again, on this one we are just chopping around, just throwing big wicks ups and downs. So watch out. But once again, bearish bias on NJ, bullish bias on NU. Let's see how this kind of this sort of disruption in correlation is going to work out. And here is UJ. So weekly time frame, we're having an overall bullish candle. Doesn't signify as much. I see a pullback and then a nice rejection from the top, which signifies that we have created a pullback and we're already rejecting to the downside. So what we probably did last week is to draw that like this little demand zone to be expecting a potential pullback. And right now, like the market could be tapping into supply to start pushing lower. Dropping onto the daily is definitely bearish. So if you just mark out this structure to the downside, right? And then if I just minimize this to this little guy right there, you can see like again, Monday chop, Tuesday chop, Wednesday we had this massive expansion higher, Thursday chop, and then Friday just throws like a little bit of a pullback into this wick. So pretty messy, pretty choppy again. So you can see chop, massive move up, massive move down, pulls back kind of for a lower high, tries to push, it fails, and right now it's pulling back. So to me, if I actually look at structure, yeah, this one is very tough. So we broke up down here, broke up, then we broke up, then we broke down right there. So technically right now the 4 hourly range is this. okay? And the market is pulling back into, let's say, this supply right there, which we can explore like on a different time frame. Maybe just take like a bigger wick, or maybe even take a zone like this. So again, exactly the same setup that we're seeing across the JPYs, right? Massive move up, massive move down, and right now tapping into the supply. So the question is this supply gonna hold, right? If we jump on the 50-minute, the 50-minute is probably, yeah, aligning bearish right now, but I'm gonna be very careful because we can come in like on Monday, take out this high, tap deeper into the zone, then align, and then go bearish, okay? So let's see. Well, yeah, this is pretty much my outlook. Again, just basing it on structure, I would say we are bearish right now on UJ, right? Which is again supported by all the JPY pairs that are also bearish, but it's a little bit sketchy. Okay, it's a little bit sketchy, but especially UJ, I do think it's major structure. Like the major structure, it's not this, because it's here that we aligned bullish on the 40 time frame, and then since then, well, we have a breakup, we have a breakup, we have a breakdown, we have a breakdown right there. So currently this is the high, this is the low, and we're trading within this range, hopefully projecting a new lower low. So let's see how this one is going to play out. Let's have a look at UCAT. I think on this one, the setup that I called on Tuesday played out very nicely. So currently we are bullish on the weekly time frame. Again, we just draw this little demand zone that just got missed, right? We tried to push up, we failed to take out the high, and right now we're just pulling back again towards this little minor demand zone. So again, in terms of the weekly, I suspect two things, right? We either start pushing from here, right? Or we take out this low as liquidity and then push from here. Right, so those are the two major macro scenarios. Then dropping onto the daily, you can see like this has been making some nice structure, like higher highs, higher lows, higher lows. Then we aligned bearish, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low here. And here we aligned bullish for a little while, and then right now we're dropping lower. So in terms of like Monday, Tuesday, they were choppy. Wednesday, what happened on Wednesday? I don't recall, because we had this big move on Wednesday across all pairs. And then we right now are rejecting to the downside. So again, to me, going back to my main time frame, which is the 40 time frame, it was here that I had a break of structure according to my rules. That was demand right there. And you can see we tested out this demand once, 2 times, 3 times before the expansion, which then caused a new structure break right there. And currently I'm still bullish, right? According to my rules, I'm still bullish, trading within this push, pullback, currently tapping into demand zone. But pretty much the lesson that I learned this week is also to follow the recent ranges. And when the market comes very strong with momentum like this, so you can see this range was created on Wednesday, we come at it on Friday with massive bearish momentum. So probably this one is going to give us a reaction, and then it's going to continue going lower. Right, this is what I usually see happening, especially seeing that like from the top, we're building a little bit of a bearish flow. So let's see, right? Let's see. Again, technically, we should be looking for longs from here, right? Going to a lower time frame to look for the alignment. If this breaks, then I become bearish on UCAT, and then we're going to be looking for shorting. Like very, 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 very simple. Dropping onto the 50-minute time frame. Yeah, you can see the high was formed right there. You just look at the 50-minute alignment, then you can be taking a short here, then it came in right with some news on Friday, yeah, 15:30, a stock exchange open, just boom, liquidates everything that is in sight and then massively drops. So right now we are at the last resort right there. So really curious to see how it's going to respond and what are we going to do. But what I suspect is happening right now is that we're having an overall kind of a daily / higher time frame push, pullback, 50%, like if you just measure it. There it is, 50% just went a little bit above. And right now we're potentially traveling towards the lows. Okay, so let's see what happens. It's overall bullish to me right now, but looking at the momentum, I would also start looking and thinking about shorts. So let me know what is your outlook on UCAT. I'm currently structurally bullish, but I also suspect that shorts are coming in. So if anything like this happens, like if you start having a little bit of a pullback to the upside, then I will be looking to also get involved into shorts, even if we start tapping inside this zone, right? And if we come in right there and nicely aligned bullish, then I will be looking for longs, then targeting this supply. So let's see. Let's have a look at the GBPs, especially GU played out very nicely this week. The setup that I called on Tuesday's stream played out beautifully, and there were a couple of guys that said that they're already long on this one. So this one played out beautifully. So hopefully guys, let me know if you made some nice profit and some nice R. We had a pullback on the weekly time frame, and currently we are just about to be taking the weekly high. So that is a very nice bullish signal. Dropping onto the daily time frame, you can see here, unlike all the pairs that we're just chopping around. GU, very nice bullish day on Tuesday, very nice bullish day on Wednesday, very nice bullish day on Thursday, and then just to slow down on Friday. So very nice bullish pair. And then if you drop on the 4-hourly time frame, again, this was the last structure break that we had. This was the demand that we had, and pretty much the long, I think on Tuesday, was taken from here. Beautiful expansion, pullback, beautiful expansion again. And currently, according to me, on the 4-hourly time frame, this is the major higher low formation. So as long as we stay above this one, we are bullish. And this is the high that we're about to be tackling. So the question is, like you can see how it's starting to form like a couple of minor structure right there. It's either gonna push from here to the highs, and if it doesn't, it's gonna take out this low right there, and then hopefully it's gonna go from there. So I suspect, like overall, I could say 3 scenarios, right? So there are my 3 scenarios that I suspect. So this is how I see GU playing out. But I see it overall bullish, like the sentiment is really nicely bullish. So why would I say shorts? Like everything is pointing to the upside. So the only question is how and where are we gonna be entering? So currently it's in a push phase. So I don't suggest you enter in the push phase, wait for a little bit of a pullback. Like for example, this one was a good long right there. This one was a good long after the pullback. So if we happen this scenario to get like a little pullback, then I would take a long. If the long doesn't work out, then we're going to reverse, probably take out this low, probably even take out this low. And then the high probability longs are going to occur from here. Or maybe the market just opens and takes out the high. So let's see the setup on Tuesday right there. Right, so manipulation below Asia, and GU was the only pair that actually did that. Manipulated below Asia, created a 15-minute reversal, created a nice supply, a demand zone, and pretty much, yeah, there is the trade. So probably, yeah, if you're swing trading, you could be taking like this. But then look at this, like this is beautiful. This is the price action I missed on EU. Push, pullback, higher low, higher high, corrective pullback into the demand zone gives you the long, right? Pushes, pulls back higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? This is the price I'm missing. And again, I have no excuse to be just focusing on EU. Like go to GU, take the longs. Like you like, yeah, what's wrong with that? But again, I just stick to one pair because this is what works for me. But it's good to see that there are other pairs working. So for the GU traders, for example, they ate very well this week. So that's GU. That's my outlook. 3 scenarios. Let's see how it works out. And then going on to GJ, this is one is going to be tricky probably. Weekly time frame, very nice bullish candle. Keeping in mind again that this on the weekly, it's still kind of bullish, so very hard to analyze. Daily time frame, we are still sitting inside this supply that the market tapped once, 2 times, and right now it's coming in for kind of the 3rd time. All the way down, went all the way down. They didn't push, right? Came in, grabbed these flat highs as liquidity reacted, but even the reaction did not cause any break. So here I really suspect that this high is going to get taken because this to me is just a reaction, right? It's still kind of internal structure, but it didn't cause anything. So I don't really see GJ right now responding from this and going down. So I kind of actually see it as a higher high, right? So see this one right there pushed all the way down. It didn't break, so it held from this demand zone. So we're starting to kind of shift the sentiment a little bit. Then this demand caused the push and a higher high. Then if you look at it like this, pulls back below 50%, taps into this little base demand, and right now it's potentially going to be attacking the high. Okay, so I suspect that bullishness is gonna come in on GJ, and also knowing how bullish GU is, I would be really careful with taking shorts on GJ. But again, going back to my main point about the JPYs, they are currently tricky to trade. So sit on your hands and maybe just jump on the... So if you're trading like a GJ, then just go trade GU for a while because it moves amazing. And sometimes trading GJ is going to move amazing. Then flick through them, all right? So that's the GBPs, right? GJ, I don't have an entire bias. I'm just suspecting that it might go up. And GU, it's an absolutely bullish bias. So let's see what we can do about it. Having a look at gold, we have another bullish week right there. It's a nice bullish week, but it's an overall also indecision. So we made a very nice wick up, then we pushed up, and then we rejected for a little bit, but overall the body closed bullish, which is a very good signal. And we have been pushing up for quite a while, and you can see every week it keeps gathering momentum, right? And just this week it actually started to slow down for a little while. On the daily time frame, we had a push, we had 3 days of a pullback, and then just one day took out all the days with a nice engulfing candle, which created also a daily break of structure. And right now you can even say that we have a new daily demand zone, which means that the 4 hourly is also going to be bullish. So Maybe we would like to take a slightly smaller zone like this. I would actually like to keep it a bit bigger, but for now I'm going to keep it like this. And then again, beautiful analysis this week on gold, by the way. Push to the upside, pulls back, like grab the liquidity with this move, push up again, pulls back, high low formation, went on to take out the new high. I think we had a... Oh yeah, there it is. Actually, I keep it. So we had a short-term bearish setup here that played out beautifully. Yeah, 9.15, so that should be it. Lower low, 50-minute lower high, pulls back right, taking it into the low very nicely, then aligns bullish. So then you can start looking to long from here. Higher high, then went all the way down, started to chop. Asian session took out all the liquidity, then we aligned bullish. Right, in this push, then we came in right there. Again, Asian session, like looking at gold, Asian session is pretty wild on gold. Like it formed these flat lows, takes them out, and then starts trending overall. So just to get back to the analysis, the volatility time frame is right now bullish. So I'm going to be looking for longs. And TradingView lost me right now. So if we happen to have any deeper pullback than that, right, we're currently having this range, right? The market hasn't yet topped 50%. So if you start coming close to 50%, and then if you start having the 50-minute giving you the setups that you wish to see, because again, gold, I see gold is very peculiar as well. You can see with the Asian session, they're always very nice, very volatile. I haven't explored gold actually, to be honest. So let's see how it works out, but I'm bullish. I would be expecting potentially to take out a new high. We're very bullish on the daily and the 40 time frame, so bias is longs. Let me know if you agree, and let me know where are you going to be looking to buy gold. A rather interesting week on the indices. So if you have a look at the weekly candle, we're having a very nice, actually bearish engulfing candle forming on the weekly on US 30, right? And yeah, in terms of the weekly time frame, we can start dropping like again our supply and demand zones on the left and the right. But again, I'm going to be focusing more intraday on this one. So I'm immediately going to go to the daily time frame where we had this overall wick that has created the major daily break of structure right there. Everything was internal. The market came in, and as you can see from Tuesday, massive push, massive push, massive push. And then Friday just gave us a little bit of a pullback. Okay, so look at all these flat lows right there. I do suspect indices to start withdrawing a little bit, right? I do suspect to start actually calling shorts on the indices. Some of the stocks are very nicely dropping. We are about to be having an earnings season as well. So a lot of earnings are about to be released. So let's see how this one is going to play out. But in terms of the overall price action this week, there were not many great intraday opportunities. So Monday pushed very nicely here. I think... there was one win that my community members took this week on US 30, and the rest was break even. Okay. Came in right there, broke structure up, right? And right now we aligned bearish. We pulled back for a little bit right there, and then just a massive drop. And then we just stayed for around 25 hours. We were staying in just this range right there, right? This range, boom, 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 boom. Then we took out the range, and then since then we started pushing higher. Okay, but right now I suspect that this is a pullback, right? Well, not really on the voyage, because we actually took out the low, and right now we're taking out the high, right? So currently short term on the forward time frame, we're bullish. So I would be looking for some longs. I would be looking for some longs into an overall kind of a daily pullback, right? Because if the daily made this big push, it would like to create a little bit of a correction, I suppose. And as we fulfill that correction on the daily, then I'm going to be looking for the flower to start aligning down and then taking it all the way down. Okay, so US 30, I really like how it moves intraday. It's actually very profitable. We have over 50% win rate on what we're currently working on US 30. We're going to be rolling out a strategy in the community, so I'm very excited about that, and looking forward to be sharing more live trades on US 30 that I take, because so far I only share EURUSD, right? Nasdaq, we're having again this Friday push. Very, very surprising to see, right? And as you can see, actually the weekly candle is looking pretty bullish on this one. But still, when it comes to the daily, Nasdaq is a bit tricky, because on the daily, like it formed this break right there, then it formed that break. So it could actually be bullish on the daily. But I will still keep this in mind right there. I'm still looking for it to come in a little bit deeper inside the zone and then give us the short. But what I see is that a little bit of a sentiment, a little bit of a bullish sentiment is introduced on the tech stocks, right? You can see from here we shifted bullish and have been going up overall. But then as you can see here, we aligned bearish, and right now we are just about to test the forward supply that caused the trend change. So very curious to see how this one is going to respond. If this breaks, then I would expect for it to go and attack this level right there, which is this liquidity point. So we either respond from here and flush lower, or we break above the zone, and then you look for longs all the way until like, yeah, you can even sell 12K, right? So that's my overall outlook on NASDAQ. And then going to S&P, similar thing, right? We had a very nice reaction. Right now, this Friday candle is rather scary, right? Very nice push up, right? But then again, just dropping onto the 40 time frame, we have shifted bearish, and US 30 is the only pair that actually aligned bullish right now on the 4H, right? You can see NASDAQ is bearish, also S&P is bearish. So again, it depends. Are we going to respond from this level? I suspect that this one could break because there is not enough liquidity taken within this supply. So what I see the index is doing is taking out this high, right? Maybe even S&P going all the way to 4060 key level, and then from there we can start looking for the reversal and the drop. Okay, so again, this one is very similar to NASDAQ, right? Either respond from this one and give us a short, or break above it, take out liquidity, and then start flushing. Because you can see on US 30, right? No, we did not take it, but on US 30 the drop was much stronger, right? It was a much stronger drop, and we don't have such a big reaction on Friday. So I suspect US 30 is going to be more bearish than the other ones. So again, very hard to read, but let's see. If I just judge it by the fear and greed index, we have been like, we went from greed 64, right now we closed 59. The market crossed above the MA, went below it, right? And right now went above it. So we're playing right now in extreme greed territory. So I do suspect we can start seeing some shorts anytime soon. Okay, so watch out for that. I bought some stocks already, buying stocks on these little drops right there. So let's see. But yeah, really looking forward to be trading intraday US 30, see if we can catch some longs and then align with the macro overall bearish bias. Very interesting scenarios on crypto right now. We have this very nice expansion coming in from the lows right there of 16K, right? And right now we're already at 23. So again, this makes me a bit FOMO that I'm not holding any crypto because the push was very nice. I think I just have like $300 from 2,500 that I lost, from 25,000, right? But yeah, overall right now, I see it start to trend, right? I see it start trending. Like this daily zone has been violated and actually caused the flip zone right there on the daily. So for trend traders, I do think it's a good time to start like looking at Bitcoin because it started gathering some steam right now. So I would be looking like for a pullback back into the zone and then like a lower time frame alignment and then starting to trade with it. So again, I'm not a crypto expert. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this is the low and if it's going to start pushing up, or is it just like one of those pushes up that gives you like a short-term uptrend just to then start reversing down. So let's see, very curious. And also like Ethereum is also, yeah, it just actually broke this zone, right? It just broke this zone. I was looking to buy Ethereum at the lows of 900, but it never came in there. But again, Ethereum is still like overall bearish in this range. This just looks like yeah, the trend line traders are gonna start dropping like channels like this, maybe even something like this, including like support. So we're breaking above this channel. So does that mean we're gonna continue going up? Or is it just a liquidity grab? Again, we don't know. So make sure to just utilize your strategy and always risk what you can afford to lose, because crypto is never a sure game, especially like with the exchanges and stuff. But hopefully more regulation is going to be involved, so it can become more trustworthy to invest in crypto. But for now, only trading. So let's see, right? Very nice bullish Ethereum actually taking out this high. So that can suggest that we are about to go higher, or maybe that is a liquidity grab and we're about to start pulling back lower. I am not touching it yet, although I like the very recent momentum. And what I would actually advise you, if you bought from these lows right there, so if you bought Bitcoin around 16K and 17K, if you bought Ethereum around the 1K mark, 1.2K, I would say take some out, like take 50 to 80% out and then look for the pullback and then deposit again, right? Because we don't know for how long this push is going to be going for. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna end it up, right? Indices are looking very amazing with the recent development of crypto. The major pairs like Euro USD, Dixie are consolidating. We had Aussie dollar and NZD as the main watch list right now. So let's see how it's gonna go forward. This is the last week of January. Hopefully it's gonna come in very nicely so I can finish my month profitable, because so far I'm like around 1%, a little bit above 1% loss for the month, which is not a big deal. But again, hopefully we can finish profitable to start the year strong. Apart from that, keep following the plan. Alright, so guys, see you on Tuesday. Make sure to leave a like and a comment on this video if you like it. Let me know what is your watch list for next week, and see you on Tuesday. Have a relaxing weekend and a crushing week ahead of you.